Hello, how are you today? My name is Amy. If you are watching this, then welcome to our team. We are so happy to have you. You probably have received a text message from me by now, so make sure you save my number. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can just text away, okay? You should have also received a welcome letter in the mail with some goodies. There's helpful information on there, especially like safety and things like that, getting started using your kit. So today we're going to go over opening your box and what all you have and how you can use it. I do want to touch on some basic things like safety and like how concentrated our oils are, just to make sure you have the same information, because some people are more visual and some people need the paper. So you'll have both, okay? That's the teacher part of me. I am a former teacher, so welcome to class. Okay, so safety. You have 11 oils in your kit, and some of those are considered hot oils. So the hot oils are thieves, peppermint, Panaway. Hot oils you want to dilute, so you can grab a bottle of liquid coconut oil or solid coconut oil. If you get the solid coconut oil, get unrefined virgin oil. If you are allergic to nuts and can't do coconut oil, sunflower oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, those are all really good oils that you can also use as a carrier oil. A carrier oil is a fatty oil, and essential oils are not fatty oils. So the molecular structure of essential oils are so small that when we pair it with a carrier oil, it absorbs onto our skin better. So that's always good, to absorb more of it and not have our essential oils evaporate into the air before they can permeate our skin. But your hot oils, when you combine them with a carrier oil, it's better for applying topically. So I didn't know that when I got started. And I always make sure that I tell you guys that first thing, because my baby was 7 years old and she was sick whenever my kit came in. So I grabbed a bottle of Thieves, and every hour on the hour, I rubbed it on her neck like that. And she's a kid who loves spicy stuff. It didn't faze her one bit. I didn't know about dilution. I didn't know that for kids, you're supposed to dilute. You can Google dilution charts on the internet and everything and figure out how you're going to dilute for your kids based on their age group. My kids are now 9 and 12, and so some things they dilute, some things they don't, just based on personal preference. They're perfectly fine. She was perfectly fine. If you experience any sort of reaction when you're using a hot oil or a regular oil, your skin might turn red. Your skin might feel hot. My neck doesn't feel hot right now, probably because I've been using them for so long. But whenever I first got started, I got a free bottle of Peace and Calming in the mail with it. And so I put Peace and Calming on the back of my hand, and I did this for all of the oils. I put them on the back of my hand to test them, and that's a good thing that you can do. But whenever I put it on the back of my hand, I was very aware that that oil was there. When my kit came in the mail was also whenever the week that my aunt passed away. So I emotionally was not ready to be at peace or to have calmness in my life. So I set that oil aside for 3 weeks. So if you have a reaction, set it aside for 3 weeks. Use your other oils consistently every day. One oil that I fell in love with that week was frankincense. Whenever I did the testing on the back of my hand, I fell in love with frankincense, and I knew it was good for skin. Like, just Googling it, they're like, that's the top skin oil. And I'm like, okay, it's good for Jesus. I'll do it. So I put it on my face, just 2 drops every morning and every night. And I ran out of frankincense within a month. But at the end of that month, I was able to go back and test my bottle of Peace and Calming. And that frankincense had helped me process the grief so much that I was able to accept that bottle of being at peace. And it didn't make my hand feel weird. Like, it never turned red. It never itched or anything like that. But it's quite common to have those kind of reactions because our body is so built up with toxins from our shampoo, our laundry detergent, laundry detergent, air fresheners, and candles, and personal care products are the top 3 toxins in the home. So we're just chemically overloaded so much that when we get these pure essential oils, it can sometimes crop up and you can have detox reaction kind of thing. If you have any sort of detox reaction, anything at all, please text me. Let's talk about it. I'll make sure that you're safe. If you need to go seek help or whatever, I'll make sure that you do that. Okay. Okay. That's hot oils. If you're going to drink your oils, because we do have some that are vitality oils. Those are the white bottles, which means that you can put them in your water. They are FDA approved for internal consumption. If you're going to put them in your water, make sure that you have a glass or metal cup. And if you're going to use a straw, make sure you have a glass or a metal straw. You don't have to use the Yeti. I know people use mason jars. The point is not to use plastic. If you use plastic, it's going to be okay for 1 to 2 uses, like up to a week or possibly 2 weeks. But our oils are so concentrated, they are so pure that they will begin to leach out the plastic into your drink, and then you'll be drinking the melted plastic. So that's not good. Use glass or metal. One of your oils, you'll notice, has a childproof lid on it. So make sure you push down and twist to get that off, okay? The reason it has a childproof lid on it is it contains wintergreen. It's the top ingredient. You can see the ingredients listed on the side of your bottles. You can also see most bottles have this space where you can see how much is left in it. But the wintergreen, there was a kid like 50 years ago who drank like 6 ounces of wintergreen and he passed away. So it is very wise of the company to take those precautions and put a childproof lid, even though there's not 6 ounces in here. So I still use this one on my kids whenever they have sore muscles, they have growing pains. It's okay. Just don't drink it. So that's safety. I did talk about how concentrated our oils are. I had used other brands before, but they, I needed breathing support. Every year from November to April, I need breathing support. And I had heard that eucalyptus was good for that. So I went and grabbed a eucalyptus that said 100% pure, therapeutic grade on the bottle from my giant chain grocery store, and put it in my bath salts and put it in my Scentsy candle wax warmer. And that just made things worse. I couldn't breathe. So I jumped in a bath. Within 5 minutes, every part of my body that was in the water had turned beet red. And I had this huge reaction. And so I started researching it. And I started figuring out that it wasn't the oil itself that caused that reaction. It was the fact that that company, that brand, did not source their oils just by cold press, which means just pressing the oil, or by steam distillation. Instead, they would add a chemical solvent during the distillation process to draw more of the eucalyptus oil out of the plant. And when they did that, that chemical solvent, that alcohol agent, got into the bottle until my body reacted to that alcohol. So purity does matter. Quality does matter. Even though oils say, other companies, other bottles say 100% pure therapeutic grade, that's what you want. You want your bottle to say that. You need to go to the company and make sure that what's in that bottle as advertised is actually what's in that bottle. Because legally, the FDA only requires 5% pure therapeutic grade oil to be in the bottle to label it as pure. I'm not very math person, but that math doesn't add up to me. So for Young Living, you guys can go to seedtoseal.com. You can see exactly how we source our crops. You can see that they hand weed with scissors because they don't want the gas fumes from tractors to get into your crop. They make sure that there's this one flower that has to be picked before sunrise on the first day that it blooms. And then it has to be distilled at an exact temperature. And if you're 2 degrees off, either way, the effectiveness of that oil goes from 80% down to 30%. So Our company knows all that science stuff. They know exactly how each plant needs to be distilled, and they are only ever cold pressed or steam distilled. They are only ever distilled at the proper temperature. And I trust them. They're the only company that I trust. So go to seeddistill.com, see how we source them. You can see videos. You can go to every single farm and ask questions of all of our scientists, all of our farmers, all of our workers. Go for it. I highly recommend it. It's a wonderful field trip. Teacher in me, field trip. Okay, so my husband says that there are 3 ways that you can use them. You can rub them, suck them, and snort them. We've sort of talked about that a little bit. So if you rub them on, you can rub them on topically, like what I did with my thieves oil. You can put it under your ears, on your neck, as like a perfume. You can put it on your wrists. You can, your palms and your feet actually have VitaFlex points, which means on your, like if this is your foot, your toes represent your head and your heel represents the bottom of your body. So if your stomach is hurting and you don't like the smell of DiGize, you can put it in the center of your foot and that will help with your stomach. So every part of your foot is related to a different part of your body. So you can rub your oils on the bottom of your feet. If you're having female specific issues, or if your significant other is having male specific issues, the outsides of the ankles are where you would rub your oils to help support those issues. So that's rub them on topically. You saw whenever I put the thieves oil on that I turned it to a 90-degree angle for the oil to come out. There is a giant hole in the center. That's not where the oil comes out. There's actually a little pinprick hole on the side in that dip, and that is where the oil comes out. So if it doesn't come out at first, rotate your bottle and spin it until you find it start to bead up on the top, okay? Rub it, suck it. We talked about sucking it in your water. You can cook with them. If you put your thieves oil and put a couple of drops in some apples that are soaking in water, it kind of tastes like an apple pie. It's really, really yummy without all the sugar and all that stuff. Lemon in your water, obviously, is amazing, amazingly awesome. A lot of people like peppermint brownies. I love peppermint brownies. My youngest daughter does not like peppermint at all, but they're really, really yummy. So that's rub them, suck them, snort them. You can also snort them in a diffuser. The sense of smell is the only one that goes straight from your nose to your amygdala and your limbic system. And so that's where your emotions are stored. So if you want to impact somebody's emotional center, like right away, you get them smelling stuff. If you are a teacher, having a diffuser in your classroom and diffusing stress away or lavender really helps chill those kids out. If you are working in an office and you're able to take your diffuser to work and diffuse calming things, it really creates a happy environment. We do diffuse our oils instead of putting them in candle because most candle are petroleum-based waxes, and that's a toxin. We don't want to get into petroleum. So diffusing is awesome. Your diffusers have military grade titanium in them, which is what makes them a little bit more expensive than other diffusers. They are built to last because of that. So our oils, you remember I said, are so concentrated that they'll leach the plastic. We make our diffusers so that they'll last, and that doesn't happen with them. So the ingredients, that the structure of them is built right. There's a 1-year warranty on them. To clean them, make sure you read your instructions, but just take a wet washcloth, wipe it out, take a Q-tip with cleaning alcohol, and you can Q-tip around any of the parts inside of it. You could have this one, you could have a different diffuser. Make sure you read the instructions. This one is a 4-hour diffuser, so I only need 4 drops in it. If you have an 8 to 10 hour diffuser, which I have one in my bedroom, the lantern, then you would need 8 to 10 drops of oil in that diffuser. Okay, so that's the basics about your diffuser. So rub them, suck them, and snort them. Okay. Your bottles of oil, you have 5 ml in your kit. 5 ml have about 90 drops in them, depending on the thickness of the oil. And so you only need 1 to 2 drops if you're going to apply it topically and rub it on. So a whole bottle will last a long time, okay? You might see Pinterest recipes that say, use 20 drops of lavender with 2 tablespoons of coconut oil to make a really awesome sleepy time lotion. That is a really awesome sleepy time lotion, but that Pinterest is not talking about our oils. If you have each milliliter is equal 1 drop. So if I have a 10 milliliter roll-on, I only need 10 drops in this roll-on, okay? If I have an empty bottle of lemon and I want to make a lemon roll-on on here, this is a 5 ml, I would only need 5 drops, okay? The other sizes that we have are 15 mil. 15 mil have about 250 drops in it, which makes it go a lot farther. If you have a oil that is a white vitality oil, and the 15 mil does not come in a vitality oil, they are the exact same oil. The FDA requires us to put the white labels on our bottles that are safe for internal consumption. Trick of the trade for us is I know that the Thieves in the 15 mil is exactly the same as the Thieves in the 5 mil. So I know that this one is safe for internal consumption too. So if you go on the website and you log into your virtual office and you're searching for lavender because your kids love it and they ran out really quick, and you see that there's a Vitality lavender, 5 mil, there's a regular 5 mil lavender, and there's a 15 mil that's a regular 15 mil lavender. They're all Vitality. They're all the exact same oil. There's no sourcing difference between them. They all have the same quality, okay? So that's a good tip. Something else that came in your kit was a roller filament. So your roller filament is this one right here, and it fits any of your bottles. I put mine on Raven so that I could just rub it on whenever I need breathing support, which, as you know by now, I need breathing support a lot. But to do that, you just put the bottle in a little bit, but do you see that space right there? We want that space to go away. So to do that, we just close the bottle and put it back in, and that space is gone. Genius, right? Okay, so how do you get the others off of there? So this plastic part removes pretty easy. So you put your lid on without screwing it on, and then you pull to the side, and it pulls it off. And to put it back in, you put it like that, and you just screw the lid back down. Genius, right? One thing you will note that I just did that with the Thieves oil, so I got all over my hands. It's very easy to go and touch my eyes because whenever I need breathing support, I'm itching my eyes. They itch a lot. So make sure you don't do that. Make sure you don't get your hot oils in any orifices. So like, I don't want to go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, and then touch everything down there with the hot oils. Does that make sense? Within 26 seconds, the oils that are on my hands are going to get in my heart, my liver, and my lungs, and they will start going to work, helping my body, supporting my body. In 20 minutes, they will go through every cell of my body. So if you apply 1 to 2 drops of lavender and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, don't feel anything, give it 20 minutes, okay? A good rule of thumb, like whenever we were super sick, we would reapply every hour, but an oil actually lasts in your body 3 to 4 hours. Kind of like if you take a generic pain medication, it'll last in your body 3 to 4 hours typically. Same thing with our oils, okay? So run your diffuser all the time. You can reapply as you need. Get the oils in your cells because it will change your cells. Medications don't do that. What I mean by that is PMS stands for phenols, monoterpenes, and sesquiterpenes. So on your cells, you have all these cell receptor sites that are like keyholes. And you have all these messages that are trying to get into your cells to send to your cells saying, okay, you need to work on this. You've got an infection. You've got to fix this. Let's work. So your cells need to work together to do that, to fight for you. But if your cell receptor sites are blocked with toxins and junk, then they can't get those messages in. Does that make sense? So to cleanse your cell receptor sites, you need phenols. Once you get into the cells, your DNA is like this. Some of your DNA is mutated. Some of your DNA has generational curses that have been passed down. So these are things that, your grandma might have had a specific, problem or disease that she passed down to your mom, that she passed down to you. And that's a mutation. And that mutation, you need monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes. They go into your DNA at the same time. One of them acts like a giant eraser and erases the mutation, and the other one goes in and rewrites it to be a normal DNA strand. It doesn't happen immediately. These are not like one-time fixes. You have to use them consistently. My youngest daughter, she was like 7 at the time. She was having freakouts, major tantrums, like 3 to 5 a day. When we got started, they would each last an hour, and she was unable to do anything with her schoolwork. That was the same year that we started homeschooling. What was I thinking? But I couldn't teach her because she would go to write her name and would have a major freak out about it because it's not perfect. It's not right. She would end up crying. She would hyperventilate. She couldn't breathe. She would end up crying herself to sleep. And this happened 3 to 5 times a day. When we got started using oil, she immediately fell in love with Stress Away, and she wanted nothing but Stress Away in the diffuser. So we used this in the diffuser all throughout our schoolwork. She would have the diffuser right next to her on the desk, and she would start to get tense about it, and she would lean over and sniff it in really good. And then she would, I could see the tension just melt off of her. And we did that every day. I quickly got a second diffuser for them to use at night in their room. And I put lavender on in their bedroom, in their diffuser at night, and Stress Away during the day. And within 4 months, so from February to May, I noticed a difference in her. And in May, I looked and I kept track in my journal, in my notebook, and she had one freak out that lasted 10 minutes. There was no hyperventilating. There were no tears. She started to get like this and get really tense, and I could see her eyes start to flip back and forth. And so I carried her to the couch, and I'm like, I'm going to go get you a book. Just breathe. Just breathe. And the diffuser was on the edge of the couch on the side table. And so she just breathed, and I went and grabbed her some books. It came back like less than 10 minutes later. She was totally chill, and I gave her books, and she sat there and she read for a couple of hours. And she's not a reader. Like, she doesn't sit still for a couple of hours for anything, but that was the biggest panic attack that she had in the entire month compared to 6 months before when she would have 3 to 5 a day. So it's not something that's going to happen. It's not going to cure or treat or diagnose. Like, that's not what we're here for, but it will change your cells if you let it. If you're consistent, if you use it every single day, every single night, it will make a difference. Don't give up on it, okay? Give me 3 to 6 months of using them consistently, and you will see a difference. If you don't, text me, call me. We'll figure out a protocol of what you need to use and when you need to use it, okay? Okay, sorry, I needed to tell you guys that apparently. So that's all of that. Before I get into the oil specifically, you should have gotten a packet of cleaner, of the Thieves Cleaner. This is a Thieves Cleaner bottle. It's a 14-ounce bottle, and you only need 1 capful per application. In this giant bottle, it is 26 to 32 ounces. So I put 2 to 3 capfuls in this whole bottle, and this is what I clean my entire house with. So you have 2 ounces, and if you have a giant bottle like this, you can pour the whole 2-ounce packet in one of these and then fill with water. You could fill with half water, half vinegar if you wanted to give it an extra kick. Either one is fine. Some people don't like vinegar smell. Personally, I can't smell the vinegar whenever I use the Thieves Cleaner with it, but I use it on everything. On my floors, I have tile and some sort of wood thing. I don't think it's hardwood. But all my floors, all my counters, my oven, my sinks, my bathtubs, toilets, I'll put the cleaner in the toilets. I use it on everything. And when I switched my laundry detergent, I ditched all my air fresheners and candles and used my diffuser only, switched out my laundry detergent, switched out my personal care products, my makeup, all that stuff. I can breathe now. I don't have a problem breathing anymore. It's amazing. wonderful. It's like an everyday miracle is what we call it on our team. So the Thieves Cleaner, make sure you run to the dollar store and just grab one of these for $1 and put it in there. Make sure you dilute it because that 2-ounce packet will last you a long time. You also receive 2 Ningxia Red packets. Ningxia Red is what I put in my cup every day. I have my protein shake of my Young Living protein powder and some apple cider vinegar because it's really good for helping you detox stuff. And my Ningxia is what I mix with it. And you need 2 ounces a day. And this stuff has such high antioxidant power. It's like eating 500 blueberries and 320 carrots and like 120 broccoli florets. Like, it's crazy. Go to ningxiared.com and read all the awesome stuff about it and how this will benefit your body. The first month that I started, I did a Ningxia Red challenge. The first month that I did that of drinking 2 ounces faithfully, I dropped 10 pounds without even trying. It's awesome. It's really good for balancing sugars. It's really good for supporting eye health and heart health. And this is all you need, 2 ounces. They also come in bottles. I get the bottles. And I prefer the bottles because I like to feel fancy. My husband takes these to work in his lunchbox every day. My kids love the packets. So we get a combo pack every month. The empty bottles, you can see I keep my diffuser water in it. And it's really, really yummy. If you don't like the taste at first, try mixing it with some orange juice. And it makes a really good orange juice. It makes a really good virgin margarita. It's really awesome. They are best cold, so throw them in the refrigerator, and then you can have one the next morning, tomorrow morning, okay? I also noticed that whenever I drink these in the morning, I don't go through the 2 p.m. slump anymore, which is really, really good. I used to be so tired whenever I was teaching in the classroom my first couple of years that I would, I'm under lip balm, sleep during my conference hour because I was so tired, and I don't do that anymore. Yeah. So let's get into your oils. We're almost done. This is the last part of it now that I have given you all the safety and everything like that. So I told you about how awesome Stress Away is for our family. A lot of people will put their roller filament on the Stress Away bottle. And Sophie, actually, very quickly, we got a pack of these from Amazon, 10 milliliters. And we put 10 drops of the Stress Away in here. So she had her oils. If she has separation issues and she goes to my mom's every summer for 2 weeks. And last summer, whenever we first got our oils, we had been using them for 5 or 6 months. It was the first year that she didn't like cry and scream for an entire week after I left her because she had her oils and she could rub them on whenever she got nervous or scared or anything like that. So Stress Away is really awesome because it has a blend of lime and vanilla. I don't know of any other blend that has those two combined. It also has Ocotea, which is really, really good for balancing sugars, balancing tension. It has cedarwood, which is awesome. I have an entire chapter in the book, The Oily Devo, about cedarwood from the Bible. And then it has copaiba in it, and I'll tell you about copaiba in a minute. But it's really good for stress. It takes the stress away, obviously. You can put some in your bath salts. You can diffuse it. You can rub it on topically. You can put it on the backs of your hands whenever you drive. And so the air conditioner will blow into your nose, that smell. And so you don't get like road tension or anything. It's really, really awesome. Copaiba is one of my favorites. It is a tree from the Amazon jungle. And if you have looked at cannabis or CBD oil or any of that stuff, it has a chemical compound called beta-caryophyllene. And cannabis has 16 to 30% beta-caryophyllene, depending on where you get yours from or whatever. Copaiba has 55% beta-caryophyllene. The beta-caryophyllene is what makes everything that's inflamed and angry calm down. Okay, so it's also an amplifier. So you can pair this with just about anything and it will amplify the effects of it. So Stress Away already has copaiba in it. I don't want to put more copaiba in it because it's already in there. You can if you want. But I usually pair Copaiba with Panaway because it takes the pain away and then it reduces angry inflammation type stuff. Okay. I will combine it with Thieves if we need a boost to our immunity. I will combine it with lemon, lavender, and peppermint for breathing support whenever the seasons are changing. Just because like my sinuses flare up a lot. They get angry at me. I want to scratch my eyes out. And Copaiba helps reduce that. Okay. Copaiba is a vitality oil. So you can put it in your coffee first thing in the morning. You can put it in your Ningxia Red. You can put it in your water. It doesn't really have a taste to it. To me, it doesn't. It's really good for skin. It helps with grounding emotionally. You can put it in your bath salts if you have a really hard workout. Really, really awesome. You can put it in a veggie capsule like this. I get my veggie capsules from Young Living, and I put a couple of drops in a veggie capsule. And this veggie capsule actually has two to three drops of lemon, lavender, peppermint, and Copaiba all in it. And so I'll take one of those whenever I feel like my eyes want to claw them out. So that's Copaiba and Stress Away. Panaway takes the pain away. It was originally called Pain Away, but we had to change the name of it for FDA things, I guess. But this one was my husband's absolute favorite when we first got started because he was a helicopter pilot in the Army and he broke his neck in combat and was medically retired. And so he dealt with a lot of pain. He was actually addicted to his medications for 3 years. And we ended up moving to Mexico City so that he would get off of his medications. We were both teachers down there, and he went through withdrawals down there. And that was when our youngest daughter ended up having her skull fractures. She had 2 inches across, 2 inches down. And because of the skull fractures, we ended up moving to DFW. So now we're in DFW, and he decided that the withdrawals were awful from his medication. He didn't want to take anything for the pain ever again. And that was 3 years after his injury. So whenever we found oils, it was probably 2 years after that. And this helps him so much to just let go of the tension. DFW traffic is one of his triggers. So by the time he gets home, he's like really tense and that triggers that pain. It's a automatic response. It is a habit of his body to send that pain signal. So even on Saturdays and Sundays at 4 o'clock, when he would normally drive home from work, that pain gets triggered, even though he hasn't been doing anything, even though he's not anxious, even though he's not driving, because his body was auto-programmed to send that pain signal after 2 years of driving that. It was a habit. And so this goes into your cells, like I told you, it rewrites your cells to be normal. So he would put this and Copaiba on his neck, and he would put Stress Away or Peace and Calming on the back of his hands whenever he would drive. So now when he comes home, he's like a happy dude and not angry dad anymore. And so this helps a lot. It relieves the pain. You can put it in your Epsom salt baths. You can apply it to your temples, to the back of your neck, to any of your sore muscles or joints. It is kind of cooling, so don't get it in your eyes. Be aware of that. My 12-year-old uses this for her growing pains, but she needs it diluted. She doesn't like the cooling sensation, so be aware of that. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint are the breathing support trio. So if you have a lot of, whenever the seasons change or things start to pollinate outside and you have issues with that, or your kiddos have issues with that, put lemon, lavender, and peppermint together. That will help, okay? So peppermint is a hot oil. You can put it on your sore muscles. You can put it on your muscles and joints. You can put it on the back of your neck. Same as Panaway. This helps wake you up. So we might put peppermint on in the diffuser during test days or at test time. It's really, really, really good. It is a vitality oil, so you can cook with it. If you go outside and it's really hot outside and you get overheated really easy, you can grab a 2-ounce glass bottle and put like 5 to 10 drops of peppermint in it with half witch hazel, half water, because oil and water don't mix. So you need the witch hazel in there. And you can use it as a cooling spray and it will cool you down fast. Okay. Which that's a really good tip for DFW, Texas. If you don't have capsules and you want this to get in your system internally quick, you can drop a drop on your thumb and push it to the side of your cheek or to the roof of your mouth. Or you can put some in your water would be the easiest way. I personally can't handle peppermint water. It's just too much for me, but I can put it in capsules all day long. Lemon is a great cleaner. So you can add a couple of drops to your Thieves cleaner. We actually have like 10 drops of lemon and then filled with the Thieves cleaner in a roll-on like this. And that is our stain removal. So that you'll take that and rub it on your clothes before you throw it in the laundry. And so that's our stain removal system. Lemon is really good for stains. It's really good. Like if you have a kid who loves putting stickers on the wall and you can't get that residue off, lemon will get it off. Ask me how I know this. Okay. You can put them in veggie capsules. You can put it in water. Obviously, lemon and lavender in a lavender lemonade is amazing. It's so yummy. This lemon comes from cold pressing the peel, not the inner fruit. So it's not as acidic as what you would go and just cut up lemons and put them in your water, which is really good because I typically don't like lemon water because it's so acidic. But this lemon made from the peel is a little bit different tasting and I love it. Lavender is calming. It's really awesome. You can put it in your bath salts. You can add to your shampoos, your lotions, your conditioners, any of your skincare products. 2 to 3 drops in a natural deodorant for a fresh and floral lavender scent. You can put it, we do have the Vitality lavender, which they're the exact same. So you can put them in your water. You can put it in on the roof of your mouth. You can put it in capsules. You can put it in your diffuser. You can put it in your tea for a lavender tea. It's really awesome. You put it on wool dryer balls. You can add it to your mascara, and it's a natural lengthener. You can make a sleepy time spray, like a monster spray for your kids, and you can spray their pillow at night, and you can spray under their bed, and it'll kick out the monsters. It's really sweet. They love it. So that's lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Frankincense is the one I told you helped get me through the grief of my aunt. It also helped me get through the grief of my dog passing unexpectedly after 8 years. I do not underestimate frankincense. There's a whole bunch of my book, The Oily Devo, about frankincense. It's one of my favorites. It immediately impacts your mood. If I'm like talking a mile a minute, I can put a drop of frankincense on my head. I just chill out. I would do that with this one, but it's actually an empty bottle. So sorry. It can help with skin and wrinkles. It helps emotionally grounding, spiritually, lifts the mood. It's inspiring. Dilution is not required on this unless you have really sensitive skin. It's one of the top ingredients in our brain power blend. It's really good for focus. So if you pair frankincense with peppermint together, it's really good for school time, for focus, for keeping yourself like on task instead of squirrel. What am I doing over here? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's also in longevity supplement, which helps protect your stress levels, helps lower your stress levels. So really good. If you haven't looked at our supplements, they're awesome. You can make a face serum with frankincense, lavender, copaiba. Start with those 3. So you can mix those 3 with jojoba oil, or jojoba is usually good for all skin types. And that's what I put on my face every day with a couple of other oils not in your kit. I know I've talked about Thieves already. You can mix it with your apples and soak your apples in it. It's really, really tasty. There are like a ton of recipes with this. This oil is named Thieves because in the time of the Black Plague, the 13th and 14th century, the people would, there were spice merchants that were going around and they were robbing the plague victims, and they were not catching the plague because they were rubbing themselves with a blend of essential oils that they distilled themselves, that they pressed themselves, and they'd rub their whole bodies down. The king heard about it, King of France, and he had them all arrested, and 2 of them gave him the recipe. So our founder, Gary Young, found that recipe when he was studying aromatherapy in France over 35 years ago. And that is how we have our Thieves Blend. So if it's good enough for the plague, it's good enough for whatever we got here, right? So use it to support your immunity. You can put it on the bottom of your feet every single day. I did that whenever I first got started. I told you I'm typically sick from November to April. In February 2nd of last year, I started putting Thieves on the bottom of my feet every single day, and we weren't sick after that. I told you that my daughter was sick whenever my kit came in the mail, and I put Thieves on her throat every hour on the hour for 6 hours. I laid her down that night. The next day she woke up and was symptom-free and hasn't been sick a day since. And that was over 1.5 years ago. So this stuff works. Use it all the time, okay? It has Eucalyptus radiata in it, which is one thing that helps support. You can mix it with lemon. You can mix it with orange. It's really, really yummy. Digest is one that you might not like the smell of. It smells like black licorice to me, but it works. Stands for digestive support. So anytime you have a tummy issue, rub it on your tummy. It will support that. I only have met one person who loves to put this in their water. I think he's crazy. Go try it. Text me and tell me how you like it. Text me and tell me what your favorite oils are, and I will send you an extra prize, okay? Citrus Fresh also came in your kit. And hold on. Citrus Fresh is a happy blend. So use the happy blend to put it in your diffuser and like get your groove on and like get happy. It is a blend with like tangerine. I love tangerines, orange, citrus, lemon, grapefruit, mandarin oranges, spearmint, which is really, really awesome. Spearmint with your tangerines and your oranges help with like sugar cravings and things like that. So you can put this in your water. You can cook with it. You can soak your fruit in it. Raven is for breathing support. Raven is a blend with camphor, lemon, wintergreen, and peppermint. You can put this like a drop in the bottom of your shower and it will act like a steam bath. You can drop it in like boiling water and put your head over with a towel and it will open up your airways. You can put it in your diffuser. You can rub it on. I rub mine on straight. You can dilute as necessary, as needed. And this one with the breathing support, lemon, lavender, peppermint, and copaiba, changed my life. Totally changed my life. I told you I dropped 10 pounds with the Ningxia Red. Whenever I added the lemon, lavender, peppermint capsules to my routine, I was taking 3 a day for 3 weeks. And in that 3 weeks, I lost another 10 pounds because I could actually breathe. And apparently whenever I can't breathe, I get really thirsty and I get really hungry. Who knew, right? Okay, so that should be all the oils in your kit. Next thing you need to do is make sure you get that welcome packet from me. Read it, text me, because in that welcome packet, it has a couple of challenges, like how to use your kit. And so when you complete those challenges, any of them, there's a couple of them. I think there's 3 challenges in here. One of them's a 10-day challenge, one of them's a 30-day challenge, and I think one of them's like a 50-day challenge. So when you complete any of them and you're using your oils every single day, text me and tell me about it. And I will make sure that you receive a prize for participation and use that kit, okay? I'm here for you with anything that you may need, but I don't know that you need it if you don't talk to me, okay? So make sure that the number in your virtual office is your texting number so that I can have that information. I promise not to spam you or blow up your phone or any of that stuff. I will send you a welcome book with it as well. And if you have any questions, I'm all over Facebook. You know that. You have my phone number. Text me. I'm here to love on you and make sure that you have everything you need to ditch the toxins, ditch out the junk that's in your home that's making you sick, and get you healthy so that you can be the best mama, so that you can be the best wife, so that you can be the best person and fulfill your kingdom calling. Okay? So thank you very much for watching all the way. make sure that you tell me that you watched all the way. Tell me what was your big aha, what was the big takeaway from this, and gifts are my love language. So I'll send you another prize for that too. Okay, bye.